I've actually invited a guest speaker here this evening, and he is going to be sharing a message with us, and I know you're going to appreciate it. And it's going to be uniquely done. Greg Beggs will actually explain to you what's involved, but we're happy to introduce to you Pastor Doyle Surratt, missionary evangelist, and he's going to share a word with us tonight. Is that mic all right? Use this mic.
Okay. One of the privileges of being a missionary is being able to communicate to people cross-culturally. And we as missionaries try to communicate so that people will understand us. We try to contextualize our message and microphones so that people can hear us and understand what we're saying. But sometimes, when pastors come overseas, thank you. Sometimes when ministers and pastors come overseas, they use colloquialisms and terms that cannot really be translated literally, and the missionaries or should not be. And the missionaries here understand what I'm talking about. There was a man that came to East Africa one time, quite a tall man, big. He pastors in Naperville. I was a teenager when he came to East Africa, and I was sitting on the back row of the church there, and he was up preaching, and he was saying, John Hurston poured his life into Cho. And I started laughing. And some of my buddies on the back row, we were laughing, and Brother Schmidgall was thinking, man, these irreverent missionary kids, what's wrong with them? Well, later they told him that the word Cho in Kiswahili means toilet. So Brother Schmidgall was up there saying, John Hurston poured his life into the toilet. So if you would, with me, just for a few moments tonight, if you would imagine yourselves as a group of Africans, and I am going to interpret this great evangelist from the United States. And I would just like to welcome you, Mr. Doyle Surratt. God bless you as you minister to this great, beautiful people today.
Thank you, brother. I'm so happy to be here tonight, and I want you to know that you have a beautiful country.
Yes, thank you, my brother, and I'm just so happy to be here. And I want you to know you've got a beautiful country.
You have a beautiful ocean.
You have beautiful ocean.
You have beautiful trees.
You have beautiful trees.
And to the beautiful ladies,
and to these beautiful people,
I would like to say thank you for lunch.
I would just like to say thank you for the dinner.
I must admit I had some butterflies in my stomach about eating your cooking.
What did you have?
I had butterflies.
But I must admit that it seems to me our guest has taken some flies into his stomach.
No. I liked the food. It was good. I really enjoyed it.
You like the flies?
Yeah, it was good. It was good food. I enjoyed it.
Well, we are glad you like the flies.
I want you to know that I'm just tickled pink that you shared your dinner with me.
But it seems to me now our guest has developed a rash. And he's been scratching himself until he has begun to turn pink. We are so sorry.
I'm especially ecstatic about the topic you've asked me to address.
But I'm especially elastic about this topic you have asked me to address.
The topic is how to get people involved in spiritual ministry.
If the topic is how to get people involved in ministering to spirits.
You see, too many people are running around like chickens with their heads cut off.
You see, what are they doing?
Running around like chickens with their heads cut off.
Oh, in this man's country there's persecution. They are just killing people for their faith. They're cutting their heads off.
Their testimony is not worth a hill of beans.
Their testimony is not worth a mountain of vegetables.
It's time for us to get on the ball for Jesus.
It's a time for us to play sports for Jesus.
Part of the problem is you pastors.
Part of the problem is you pastors.
You don't wait on God.
You just get ahead of the road.
You're always jumping the gun.
What are you doing?
Jumping the gun.
Sure.
Jumping the gun.
You are putting a gun down on the ground and jumping on top of it.
You're always shooting off your mouth. Shooting off your mouth.
Then you take this gun and you just shoot your ribs off. I don't know why.
Then you just stick your foot in your mouth.
Then when you have just shot your ribs, you put your foot in your mouth.
Many times there's a problem with being lackadaisical.
Many times there's a problem with laxatives.
There seems to be a great disorganization.
Things that just run so smoothly.
Sometimes people arrive an hour late.
Sometimes the people come to church just on time.
You must give them a reason to be glued to their seats.
Glued?
A reason to be glued to their seats.
Now, pastors, listen to me. When these people come to your church, just put something sticky down so when they sit, they can't get up again.
I know how it is getting ready for church.
Now, I know how it is to prepare for church.
I, too, am a pastor.
I also am a pastor.
It's late Sunday morning.
It's late Sunday morning.
The kids are in the yard as filthy as pigs.
There are some baby goats in the yard, and they begin to look like pigs.
Then you bring them in the house.
Then you bring them into the house.
You put them in your bathtub.
You do?
You put them in your bathtub.
You put them in your bathtub.
And you begin to peel that mud off of them.
You begin to just scrape this mud off of them.
The kids are climbing up the walls.
But these baby goats begin to run up and down the walls.
In the meantime, your wife is busy making up her face.
What's she doing?
Making up her face.
Oh, then your wife is just busy making her face happy for Jesus?
Meanwhile, Satan is still attacking.
But Satan is coming against you.
You step outside and it's raining cats and dogs.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you step outside and small animals begin to fall from the skies.
About that time, your wife's hairdo hits her face.
What hits her?
Your wife's hairdo hits her face.
Hairdo?
Hairdo.
Oh, your wife is hit in the face with a Honda.
Why, it's enough to make your head spin.
It's just enough to make her head rotate.
It's enough to make you go bananas. It's enough to make you go bananas.
But I'm sure, tropical fruit is coming in here someplace.
Well, you finally get to church.
Thank God. Oh.
But by the time you get there, you're not even thinking about God.
No. By the time you get to this church, you're not thinking about God.
You're mad with your wife and your kids.
You've become insane with your wife and these baby goats.
You're so upset you begin to chew your wife out.
You've become so angry and insane, you begin to bite your wife.
You get up on a platform.
You get up on a platform.
People are sitting there just like knots on a log.
People are sitting like holes in wood.
Your wife is trying to smile.
Your wife is just trying to grin.
But everybody can tell you have just chewed her out.
But everyone can just see the blood is dripping down. You have just bitten her.
And all those people, they're all wrapped up in what they think is worship.
And all of these people have just brought blankets to church.
When you know it's really just a bunch of baloney.
When you know it's really just a sandwich.
That's not serving God. Give me a break.
That's not serving God. Hit me in the face.
We need to get on fire for Jesus.
We need to just burn ourselves for God.
It seems like someone is always there to quench the spirit.
But thank God somebody comes and puts water on you before you just burn to death.
Well, I see now the clock is flying and I must rush to a conclusion.
Oh, you saw it. This man had a vision. And he saw this time was just flying. And while he was looking at it, he drove into a conclusion.
What you need to do is get into your closet of prayer.
Closet.
Closet.
Water closet.
Any kind of closet.
What you need to do is just go to the bathroom and pray.
You don't need flaming evangelists.
You shouldn't ban your evangelists when they come to your church.
You need to go to the altar and get a hold of the horns of the altar.
There are some horns there.
Yeah, get hold of the horns of the altar.
Oh, do you remember those baby goats? They are now at this altar and you should just hold their horns.
We need pastors with enough guts to fast and pray the house down.
You pastors with big bellies, you should begin to fast and pray until this house of Satan falls.
Now if you will follow my words,
Now if you will talk like I do,
the power of the Spirit will sweep over you.
God will hit you with a broom.
The power of the Spirit will sweep over your congregation.
God will hit your people with a broom.
And you will find yourself spiritually walking in the promised land.
And you will find yourself dead and gone to heaven.
Every word I've preached is in the Bible. Every word. Yes, every word.
Okay, this man just believes everything he has said. Just say amen. Amen.
I hope someday you can come to America and help us as much as we have helped you.
I hope, my friends, that someday you can go to America and just straighten this man's theology out.
I want to thank you for the great opportunity to communicate these special insights from the Word. It's been great.
I want to thank you for thoroughly confusing you this evening. It's been wonderful. God bless you.